boundless as the sky, have happiness and causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and causes of suffering. May they never be separated from happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all Mother Sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and causes of suffering. May they never be separated from happiness, which is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all Mother Sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and causes of suffering. May they never be separated from happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. Mandala offering. An infinite array of worlds, each with 4 continents and the wealth of infinite ocean of realms. If I bring them all to mind and offer them without exception, please hold with compassion all beings they contain. My body, enjoyments, whatever I own, my aggregates, elements, and sources, my aspirations now, as well as the time to come, as well as everything I grasp as mine. By offering them all, may I be blessed with the end of self-grasping, completely liberated from the bounds of real and unreal, transcending names, attributes of arising, cessation, abiding, coming and going, affirmation and denial. The Supreme Mandala is the natural state. By offering it, may I be blessed to attain the state of Buddhahood. Om Guru Devada Kini Radha Mandala Pratitsa Soha. Unequal refuge, ornament of the world, your fame pervades the 3,000 worlds. You are Vajradhara without a doubt. I bow at the feet of the Father, Jigten Sumgen. Continually I think of no one but you. Compassionate one, grant your blessings. Dispel the darkness that surrounds my heart. Please bless me so that I realize the unelaborate nature of mind. Request for teachings. Please turn the wheel of the Dharma of the 2 vehicles and their combinations according to the disposition and likewise the mental capacities of sentient beings.
Thank you. First, please take a deep breath. Inhale fully. All the blessings of the Buddha. And it heals our mind. And exhale. Please inhale all the bodhicittas of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and totally heal, and we cultivate bodhicitta. And exhale. Once more, please inhale all the wisdoms of the Buddha and all the darkness of the delusions that surrounds our heart are fully dispelled. And please exhale. So with this, as we said the prayer, cultivate the bodhicitta, altruistic thought, to attain complete enlightenment, Buddhahood, for the benefit of all sentient beings. And with this, we just reflect that we are doing this study practice to heal our mind, which means to eliminate all the delusions, mental afflictions, the defilements that all need to be purified, dispelled. and we bring up our wisdom, special insight, that these which brings all the sufferings, they are not exist in their way as we perceive, but we have those because of our inveterate habit, that the propensity of the habit that deeply rooted, and that habit we need to change, purify by repeating again and again. So this is our actual Dharma practice is about. It's nothing but only to bring peace, happiness in our life, and we provide to all other sentient beings that they desire for peace and happiness. And as I mentioned repeatedly, this is nothing to the different religions, belief systems, or cultures. And so this is that culture, this is this culture. This is something, a reality in whole samsara and nirvana. And we should repeat this again and get the full conviction. So there's no other alternative. This is how we have to do it. So therefore, to do this, a Buddha with great wisdom and compassion have shown us all the methods step by step. It's because our mind is very profound, it's vast, it has many layers, one after another. So to comprehend these layers, then Buddha taught step by step, you see. That's why the jewel ornament of liberation, that what we are studying, is designed for that. So we're so fortunate to have this kind of opportunity. Now, the Dharma Lord Gampopa, he wrote this book for us, for the followers of the Buddha. This is unlimited. As you see, it's not that big book, but it's such a complete and few sentences and full of wisdom and contains so much profound teachings. So we need our attention, awareness, and appreciation, devotion to follow this. So now we are touching on the subject of the bodhicitta. See, bodhicitta is the product of many causes and conditions, as we went through step by step. There are 12 topics, you see. So now we are touching the 12th. It's a training. So this is very important to pay attention first. This is the training of the aspiration bodhicitta. It's the foundation of the bodhicitta. See, as you know, the aspiration bodhicitta training, you see, not forsaking sentient beings from one's heart. No one, no anyone, we should give up. So that is very important. That's first importance of bodhicitta, both aspiration and action bodhicitta. And then we reflect on the beneficial effects of the bodhicitta. At the end of the day, bodhicitta is the one that total path, method that we can achieve Buddhahood. So reflect on this. Means not just a Buddhist. What this means for everybody who is interested to free from suffering. who are interested to achieve complete peace and happiness. And then gathering great accumulation of merit, wisdom to build the strength of the bodhicitta. And then we meditate on the avoiding 4 unwholesome deeds and engage in the 4 wholesome deeds. So this is the foundation of the bodhicitta practice. Now in the action bodhicitta practice, now as you see, there are 6 parameters. Yesterday we touched on the generosity, practice of generosity. As you saw, it's not just giving something, but it's a practice of a complete teachings out in that topic. Now today we touch on the chapter 13. Chapter 13 will touch on the perfection of moral ethics. Now, moral ethics, there may be different translations, different connotations, different understandings. But this is very important. We have to have this understanding. All the suffering and the samsara that exist, that we have, every sentient beings in the samsara go through different types of suffering. The suffering is our experience, the result that we're experiencing. That itself does not come from without cause, or from wrong cause. So the cause of all the suffering is called non-virtue, non-meritorious action. See, it transcends all the differences, all the peace and happiness, even in samsara and the nirvana that there is, that is result of meritorious action or virtuous action. So please understand this line, the line of the virtue and non-virtue. It's not just this is somebody designates, so this is virtue, this is non-virtue. It's not that. It is the universal, how it constitutes the cause of suffering and cause for peace and happiness. See. So based on that, the Buddha taught all the teachings, how to avoid all the non-virtues which are the cause of suffering, the cause to reborn in the lower realms, cause to all these undesirable conditions. And Buddha taught how to practice, how to bring about, apply in our life, do good things. That means this is the cause for peace and happiness. And that's it's called virtue. So practicing this accordingly, that's called moral ethics, morality. Shila in Sanskrit is called Shila, and in Tibetan it's called Sudim. So this is a moral ethics. So I made just very clear about this. Now the summary, reflect on the faults and the virtues. Here virtues means good qualities. Definition of the moral ethics, classification, division, characteristic of the each classification, characteristics or definition of these each classification divisions, and then how to increase the practice of the moral ethics, and how to perfect into the perfection and realization of the emptiness, and then the result, what you can expect from these practices. So these 7 comprise the perfection of moral ethics. Now, through these 7 topics, we'll discuss the teachings of this moral ethics. As I mentioned, it's not so big, so kind of too much, but very important points are put here, the Gampopa. Now first, the reflection on the faults and the virtues. Within that, first is the fall. If we don't practice, when we don't have the morality, the moral ethics, then what kind of disadvantage that we face? Even though you may have the practice of generosity that, as we discussed yesterday, you will not achieve the perfect body of goods, bodies of gods and human beings if you do not have moral ethics. In engaging in the middle way, says Chandrakirti, even if one achieves wealth through generosity, because the practice of good generosity, one may have very good wealth. The beings who breaks his leg of moral ethics, means if he breaks or not engage moral ethics, will fall to the lower realms. This is just a good example. See, nowadays you can see people are so much interested keeping dog with them, You see, there's some dogs are fed so well, more than human beings. They are so cared. They are giving all the best food, good place, and then veterans, they take to the doctors, such a luxurious life. It's because of the practice of generosity, very precise. Or like a horse, there are some horses are so well fed, shining, so well. Or some animals, cattle, buffaloes, they're quite number, The human beings in the world, they're starving to death. But at the same time, these animals are so well fed. And because of their practice of generosity in their previous life. Without the practice of moral ethics, you will not meet the Dharma teachings. The Possession Moral Ethic Sutra says, for example, a person without sight, without eye, cannot see forms. Likewise, a person without moral ethics will not see the Dharma teachings. Dharma teaching is such a precious. For them, it doesn't make sense so much. Or this is something belief system. Or somebody said that. I'm not interested. Again, without moral ethics, you cannot be free from the three walls of samsara. 3 wall, desire wall, form wall, formless wall. Will not free from these 3 walls, will stay in the samsara. That same sutra mentions or said, for example, a person without feet cannot walk a road. Likewise, a person without moral ethics cannot be liberated, because moral ethics make the mind connection with the Dharma. And first, it allowed to have this precious human life, and makes interest in the Dharma teachings. So moral ethics is such an important point, practice. Again, without moral ethics, you are missing the path of enlightenment. Means you need 6 parameters. From the 6th parameter, you're missing one. So will not achieve the unsurpassable enlightenment. So these are the disadvantage. Just few words. There are so many, but few words made such a very important point. On the other hand, you will achieve the perfect bhakti when you have moral ethics. The condensed perfection of Wisdom Sutra says, through moral ethics, one will avoid the rebirth of animals and so forth, animal, Holy Ghost, hell realms. The 8 unfavorable conditions as well. Also, this would be free from the 8 unfavorable conditions. Will always find leisure, means you will find precious human life. When you have moral ethics, you can establish the foundation of all goodness and happiness. The letter to a friend says, Nagarjuna, just as the ground is the basis for motion and stillness, ground means this earth. The earth is the ground, is a basis. All we human beings, animals travel around. All the mountains, trees, all just now functions within on the earth. So this means stillness. So moral ethics is the basis of all the excellent qualities. So moral ethics is the basis of all the excellent qualities. So moral ethics is not just one thing. There are moral ethics of the Sharavaka, the Theravada system, the moral ethics of the Mayana system, the moral ethics of the Vajrayana. All this, such a profound, vast practice. And the Mahamudra, you realize when you have the pure moral ethics. When you have moral ethics, it is the fertilized ground. On that basis, all the crops of good qualities will grow. Engaging in the middle way says, when all the good qualities increase in the field of moral ethics, one can enjoy the result without ceasing. So when you have moral ethics as a good foundation, then all this, like say, the crops, you see, the corn, rice, wheat, all the soybeans grow on the ground without reservation. So likewise, when you have moral ethics, then all the good qualities manifest from there. When you have moral ethics, you will reach the diverse doors to the meditation concentration. The Moon Lamp Sutra says, the Buddha said, one will quickly achieve unafflicted, undefiled meditative concentration. This is the beneficial effects of pure moral ethics. When you have moral ethics, you will accomplish everything for which you have said aspiration prayers. The meeting of father and son, Sutra says, for one who keeps pure moral ethics, all the aspiration prayers will be accomplished. When you have moral ethics, it is easy to establish enlightenment. The same sutra says, pure moral ethics bear great beneficial effects. Because of that, it is not difficult to establish enlightenment. So forth, there are many great qualities. The possession, the possessing moral ethic sutra says, one who has moral ethics will meet the Buddha even when Buddha appears on this planet. Those individuals who have kept moral ethics, they will see the Buddha. One who has moral ethics has the supreme ornament of all. They say moral ethics is the best ornament you can have. Usually, there's a lot of ornaments, the earrings, necklaces, and all this you can see, to show your beauty, So if you keep the moral ethics, you are the most beautiful person. Everyone you are respected. One who has moral ethics is the source of all joy. One who keeps the moral ethics is praised by the whole world, and so forth. There are so many things, about the good qualities of the moral ethics. So we should inspire this. So this is the virtue. These are the virtues. Having the moral ethics are well kept. Also we practiced. Now definition. The definition of moral ethics has 4 qualities. The Bodhisattva's Bhumi says, this Asanga writes this. One should understand that the definition of moral ethics has 4 qualities. There are 4 of them. What are these 4? Taking precept perfectly from others, this first one. First you take the precept, whether it's Vinaya, Bodhisattva's vow, or Vajrayana's vow. You take that precept, the vow, from others. Having pure motivations. So having pure motivations, desire to free from samsara. Especially here in this Mayana, desire to attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings, nothing else. So there's a pure motivation. Renew one's practice if it declines. So if in case we broke the vow, immediately renew. That's the best thing. Don't give up. Just say, now I broke the vow. Now, please excuse me. I cannot practice. Now go round. That will not do any good for our life. We make mistake, but acknowledge and then purify repeatedly, one after another. It's very important. Then renew it, see, and stronger. Then next he said, and having mindfulness and respect so the one's practice will not decline. See, first we have to have the mindfulness. Look at the mindfulness, nature of the samsara. Samsara is a state of suffering. Everything is changing. Today, the very good war, next day, chaos, you see. Today, we are very good friends each other. Next day, we don't talk each other. Look at these things, you see. That's the nature of the samsara. So reflecting on that, in the samsara, there's nothing that we can rely on. Even in families, sometimes brother and sister, they don't talk. They fight each other. Sometimes they go to the court. They sue each other. So that's about the samsara, you see. But looking at this, Dharma practice is the most important. Within that, keeping the moral ethics. Keeping moral ethics is the real, such a beautiful. It's the 24 hours your mindfulness practice. And then is that respect. Practice will then see, and respect means look at the preciousness, how precious these Dharma practices are. Okay. So these the four qualities that defines the moral ethics. See, abbreviated now these four abbreviated into two. These four qualities come under the categories of receiving. First, you receive the vow, precept, and then protecting. These two. First, you receive, and next you protect. Means keep them and progress. In the above quotation, receiving is the first quality, and protecting is the last three. The last three are included into the protecting. Okay, so this is the definition of the moral ethics. Now the third classification or division, moral ethic has three divisions, three classifications. Moral ethics of restraint, avoiding all the non-virtuous thoughts and the non-virtuous thoughts and physical action. B, morality of accumulating virtuous dharma. This means dharma study, dharma practice, making oneself fit, in the understanding, in the realization of the dharma. And the third, C, morality of benefiting sentient beings. See, these three are so nicely now made into, see, first, ourselves avoid all the non-virtuous action, thoughts, see. Then on the basis of that, we study, practice dharma, make oneself, as I mentioned, fit, build the strength. Then when one has well equipped on these understanding and practice, then you can benefit others. So this is the three. The first means to restrain your mind in a proper place. Proper place means proper motivation. Our mind set in the right place of the virtuous thoughts. The second means to mature the Dharma qualities of your mind, you see. Right now, our mind is unruly. Our mind is so kind of in the chaos state, with all the delusions, all the confusions there. So need to purify these and mature in the wisdom, in the compassion practice. See, that's the second. And the third one means to fully mature sentient beings. Once you are ready, well equipped on the study, practice, then you can help others to mature to mimba, to ripen the fruit. Now for the characteristic of each classification, the definition of each division. Moral ethics of restraint, in that there are two topics. Describes the morality of the restraint, common and uncommon. So I'll read it. Yes. Common moral restraint. First, the common one refers to the 7 types of parthimogeous vows. See, parthimogeous vow, as we did at the section of the foundation for the bodhicitta. See, so the common means for all the Buddhists, Theravada, Mahayana, Vajrayana, we all agree on this. For all the Buddhists common. So those are, you see, Bodhisattva Bhumi says, within the Patimokkha precepts, there are 7 ways to take the precept perfectly. Those are the Bhikkhu, full ordained monk, Bhikkhuni, full ordained nun, and Shishamana is for just nun, and Shramanira, novice monk, Shramanirika is novice nun, and Upasaka and Upasika, those for lay people. No? And these are coming to all the Buddhists. All the Buddhists, they accept this. They know this. These are divided into the layperson and renounced or called ordained. Ordained, we say ordained bhikkhu and bhikkhuni. So let people, as you see, there are 5 precepts. The first start from simple, very 5 precepts. Look at the 5 precepts. If you look at, if you carefully examine, it's nothing but only for peace, you see. Not take life, not steal, not sexual misconduct. Then don't tell lie. And then free from intoxication of the alcohol or drug. Just the 5 precepts you look at, It's universal. It's not just for only Buddhist. If one has these 5 precepts, any country you go, everybody will appreciate, respect you. Everybody will say, this was such a peaceful person, such a nice person. See, it's not just a religious training, as I mentioned. It's the cause for peace and happiness. Then all the rest built upon this 5 precepts. Novice monks and nuns, the vow, the bhikkhu, bhikkhunis, vow, built on the basis of these 5 precepts. So the 5 precepts is the foundation. So look at this. So Buddha was such a great skillful. When you say, yes, I can do this, it's mostly, you see, when we purify our mental afflictions, the anger, aversion, the desire, the attachment, the pride, jealousy, when these are purified, then there's no problem keeping these precepts. See, when our mind is not well prepared, we are very difficult to keep. For example, if you are so addicted, drinking alcohol or using drugs, if somebody asks you, can you, prohibit this drinking? Say, no, 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 I cannot do this. You see, can you just stop this kind of drug using? Say, no, no, I cannot do this because we are so involved. But those individuals who are not used to this and say, yeah, I have no problem. I actually I don't drink, so I have no problem. So because there's no attachment to this. So all the rest, see, just look at this. It's universal. That's what's called Dharma practice is about. Makes you a better person, more peaceful, more harmony. It's a harmonious practice. So step by step, with all the experience, you can see the experience we need. Otherwise, sometimes it's this that they believe that, or they do this, and we don't believe this, Then there's a lot of excuses, you see. But otherwise, those individuals who are naturally, have these good qualities, as soon as when they say take refuge, then they say, oh, I can take the 5 precept, no problem, no, I have no difficulties, And then after time they say, oh yes, I have no problem, become bhikkhus and bhikkhunis, And then they say, oh, I really like helping sentient beings, and I like to help everybody, So then no problem taking Bodhisattvas. Wow, you see. Okay, then they all restrain one from harming others. Now, in the Patimokkha's vow itself provides restraint only for one's own benefit. Those like arahats, hearer, sharavakas, for individual interest of the individual liberation, they don't engage in of those non-virtue for their own benefit. Because if we engage on these, it prevents one to achieve arhat. Then you see, but Bodhisattvas restrain themselves for others' benefit. So we say for others' benefit. If you harm others, how you can benefit? No, you cannot benefit, If you steal, you are harming others, so you cannot benefit others. So practice these 5 precepts for others' benefit. If I want to help others, first I not harm others. Then without harming others, then you can help others. The Narayana Request Sutra says, one should not keep moral ethics to attain a kingdom just for this life. By keeping moral ethics, it will earn such a great benefit. I can become a king, Not for that. Not for higher realms. Not for Indra or Brahma states. Not for wealth. Not for Ishwara state. Not for the body, like human body. Likewise, one should not protect moral ethics by fearing rebirth in the hell realms. Or if I don't practice this now, if I don't keep the 5 precepts, maybe I'll born in the hell realm, in the hungry ghost. We should not have that kind of fear. We should keep the precept to attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all sentient beings. We should avoid this very inferior mind. Likewise, the birth of animals, nor should One, protect moral ethics by fearing rebirth in the world of Yama. Here, Yama means hungry ghost. On the other hand, one should keep moral ethics to establish sentient beings in the Buddhahood. You see, I keep these moral ethics so that I'm well equipped to benefit sentient beings to establish Buddhahood. One should protect moral ethics to benefit and bring happiness to all sentient beings. Such, you look at, such a moral mind, such a great mind. Like in the country, when you have a constitution, say this is constitute established for the whole country. So we have to think for the country. We have to think for the people of the country. The officers in the government, they talk about that, Now in this teaching, what Buddha taught is not just one country. It's country of the whole universe. The country of all this people of all the sentient beings. Much brighter, greater perspective. It's the spectrum of the whole universe included, bring together. Look at these, meditate. So when you go outside, when you see there's a boulder, rock, sit on the rock, open your eyes and your heart to whole universe and meditate there with bodhicitta, with Mahamudra. No limitation, no boundary. So this is the common, anyway, this is for common Vinaya, we call Vinaya practice for all the common Buddhists. The uncommon means for Bodhisattva, higher. Now, on the above these, you build one more understanding. Then say, purifying deeper, so also more subtle obscurations. Uncommon moral restraints. Shantideva follows the essence of space sutra. Nangwenyingbu Do in Tibetan. Nangwenyingbu Do. The Nagarjuna, the Shantideva follows that sutra. Says there are 5 root downfall of a king, 5 root downfall of ministers. This just at those times, the countries are ruled by kings and ministers. So these days we use so much democratic system. So for the welfare of the people, that the country is set up that way. So if the kings and the minister, they don't work according to the benefit of the people, so why they should become king? Why they should become minister? They become king not for them. They become king for the people. They become minister for the people. So if they don't do things for the people, it is against the people's will. It's against the cause for the peace and happiness. So this is what is saying that, and 8 root downfall for subject, his subject, king subject people. So there are 18 titles. Title the 18, but 14 actual downfall. Actually, if you count, there's 14. The sutra mentions stealing the wealth of the triple gem is rude downfall. A king, a king comes, go to the monastery and stealing all the Buddha Dhamma's offerings. So the king is not so good, It's one rude downfall. So then, forbidding the precious Dharma, the sage said this is the then forbidden precious Dharma, giving up. A king who rules the country, a Buddhist king, then if he gives up the Dharma practice, that's second. Seizing the robes, beating or imprisoning a monk or nun who has renounced his vows, or causing a monk to renounce his vow. So this you see. Even a monk who disrobed, or who I should not say disrobed, who broke the vow, then the king comes there punishing the monk, taking all his robes away. So that's also not kind enough to help the monk. You have to ask the king. The king should ask the monk. You should not break the vow. You should keep the vow. You should renew the vow. These things are important. You see, or causing monk to renounce the vow. Then number 4, committing any of the 5 heinous crime. So you see, taking the life of father, mother, this making the disharmony in the Sangha community. So these are the heinous, so heavy negative karma, as you say, cause to reborn in the lower realms. And you see, and also king holding a wrong view of the karma. So there's no virtue and non-virtues. There's no previous life. So if the king has that kind of view, that also uproots his bodhisattva's vow. So the first four, the king and the minister, the same vow. The last one, holding a wrong view, is for king, and then next you see F, destroying cities and towns. These are the root downfall spoken. These are the root downfalls. Is root downfall for minister who's involved with like a army, military, go other places, destroying the city, killing all the people on that. So this is destroying the cities, town, so this for minister, and E is for the king. So that makes basically it's 10. There are 10, but there are 5. 5 of them. 5, 6. Yeah, 6. There are 6. Now next 8 for the people. The subject, expressing emptiness to being who are not fully trained. Those who don't know about emptiness, you just tell those people everything's empty. People have no idea what you're talking about, So, oh, your life is empty, This is not existence, it's emptiness. People say, what you're talking about? You are crazy, and it is not empty. We see, things. So people are not prepared, not well studied practice, just, sometimes threatening, then causing others, no, causing those who have entered the path towards the Buddha who to renounce the complete enlightenment. Those who study practicing the path, and you just you are so stupid. You are practicing Dharma for what? So, for enlightenment. How you see the enlightenment? You're causing to renounce that, and then causing someone to give up the Pratimujja's vow by connecting to the Mahayana family. So then I follow the Mahayana families much better. If you're practicing Hinayana, why you do this? Especially you are monks and nuns, where you're practicing these monks and nuns robe, or the vows. So causing to renounce that is also, because it's Buddha's teaching. For the benefit of Buddha, for the benefit of sentient beings, Buddha taught these teachings. Holding the belief oneself that the training path will not dispel the afflicting emotions of desire and so forth, and in influencing others to go this way. This means this. What is here saying? This is here saying. Holding the belief oneself that the training path, that what you are now, the sutra system, we're starting practicing step by step. So this will not help you to purify your mind. You must go to the Vajrayana, much better, So causing like give up what that person is doing and turning to like a higher path, even though it's not ready. See, that individual is not ready to go there. That also cause to break the vow. See. Then see, expressing one's qualities, good qualities, in order to get wealth, honor, and praise, and to abuse others. Now, some senior practitioners, I say, I'm a senior practitioner. I last for 5, 10, 13, 15 years, I have been studying, practicing these teachings. Now I'm much better off. I can teach. So expecting others' respect, expecting others' offerings. Instead of to free from samsara, instead of to achieve enlightenment, establishing this life for the benefit of this life. Wrongly expressing that I have the patience of the profound teachings. This is what means I have realized emptiness. Even you have realized emptiness, still is said, Buddha said, don't randomly tell these other people. No. If you don't have realized, of course not. No. But to prove something yourself is well established, I realize emptiness, then say that will break your bodhisattva's vow. See, this all involves, you see, with the ego, ignorance, confusion. See, so we don't need these confusions. causing a practitioner to be punished, falsely taking an offering intended for the three jewels, or accepting bribery. So so these are also breaks the vow. And then last one, disrupting someone in calm, abiding meditation means those who are in the retreat, especially in the solitary retreat. They are practicing shamatha. They are practicing mahamudra. Individually in the norm, and people making offering to that individuals with high respect. So someone is doing the retreat, so wonderful, great. And it is, of course, in such condition, so then, or taking the, or that, disrupting that, or say here, taking the provision of retreat, retreat practitioner and giving them to someone who says prayers. So there are someone in the monastery or in the place, some monks or nuns or individual saying some prayers, chanting some sutras. So, they are chanting sutra, wonderful, those on the retreat, they are just fake. They are not doing really retreat. So taking their provision, their food conditions, take away and disrupt their meditation, retreat, and bringing those provision to the people who are just saying the prayers. So that's the one cause to break the vow. Because retreat is such a precious. We always have to support the retreatants. Those who are in the retreat, meditating for months and years, such a precious. That will uphold the Buddha's teaching. These are the root downfall which cause you to be reborn in the great hell realms, hungry ghosts, so forth. So these are just briefly mentioned. Just look at these. As I mentioned, that sometimes you find very complicated understanding, but bottom line is we involve our ego, confusion, delusion, and we're bewildered within the confusion. And from there, as last time mentioned, we are completely besotted within the confusion. And then it's just a place of suffering. So here Buddha is making such a pure, clear how Dharma practice should be done to free from samsara, to attain complete enlightenment. See? So this is the Shantideva's tradition following the Essence of the Sky Sutra. Then in the Dharmakirti, you see, as you know, from Indonesia, the great Bodhisattva, Dharmakirti from Atisha down tradition, following the Bodhisattva's Bodhisattva Bhumi by Asanga. There are 4 root downfall and 46 subsidiary downfalls. 20 precept, this all put into the 20 precept text. Which is an abbreviation of the Bodhisattva's Bhumi says, praising oneself and abusing others through attachments to wealth and honor. Means like a Dharma practitioner, no, not just Dharma practitioner, like a teacher. Now, so I'm here, now I teach these things. I read from the text. And then there's some other teacher, who's teaching same thing, Then I say, I'm much better off than him, See, I can explain better than others, you see, so that all the offerings will come to me. Then I become rich, So that's one root downfall. Instead, I should praise the others. Oh, they're wonderful, Should go there, study with that person, So wealth and honor. Next, not giving dharma and wealth through this stinginess to those who are suffering and without protection. There are some poor people who really wants to study, practice dharma, but they have no wealth to offering. So then I see that individual has no wealth to offering, so I cannot teach, I cannot help, out of stinginess. So that breaks the vow, you see. If I have, I share. If I don't have, don't worry about that then, because I don't have. But as long as if I have, I share, honor the practitioners, and honor their interest in Dharma. Just so wonderful. You just study, you practice, you don't need any offerings. You just follow the path. Then next, third, angrily punishing others without accepting their apologies. This is one, if somebody made a mistake, so then you are so angry about that. You are so resentful about that. You made this mistake. And then that person comes to you, I apologize. I made the mistake. Please accept my apology. I will do better. I will work hard. Still not accepting that. That's breaking the vow. See, if there's somebody comes that way, you accept. So I'm so happy you understand your mistake. You should do better. It's your own benefit. Give those advice. Now fourth, avoiding the Mayana vehicle and giving false teachings, you see. You yourself, like me, so I'm practicing Mayana, but then I give up the Mayana motivation, bodhicitta, and then still I give teachings. It's fake, it's wrong, Well, I'm not practicing Dharma, how I can give Dharma teachings to others? If I give, it's fake. So understand these things. So see, these teachings so precious. Makes a decent person, a person who can help in the community, in the world. We need this, We don't need those who are interested in titles. Wealth. If individual voluntarily make offerings, it's okay, it's their choice. As I mentioned, the teacher has his or her own responsibility. The Dharma practitioner, disciple, has their own responsibility. So we share our own responsibility. But we must practice Dharma very sincerely. Oh. The 46 subsidiary downfalls are also mentioned in the 20 precept. Not making offerings to the three jewels, following attachment with the minds, and so forth. So please read at the note. So these are, now you see how to restrain from the downfall. We have to protect ourselves from these mistakes. Purify our mind as much as possible every day. And then, so for Sharavaka, for Pratik Buddha, purify the mind for their own benefit to free from samsara. And Mahayana Bodhisattva, Bodhicitta practitioner, we practice this for our mind to help other sentient beings, to attain Buddhahood, to benefit all sentient beings. You see, look at these carefully. If we are not purified enough, how we can help others? This is all logical. So look at this and we meditate, practice this way. Moral ethics of the accumulating virtues. After perfecting, taking the Bodhisattva's vow of moral ethics, accumulate virtues through your body, speech, mind, in order to achieve enlightenment. This is one. They say, means we have to become rich, our body, speech, mind, by practicing bodhicitta. First study, then follow into the path. Briefly, these are called the accumulation of virtue. What are they? The Bodhisattva's bhumi. Bodhisattva bhumi says, maintain and sustaining the Bodhisattva's morality. See, first, we took the Bodhisattva's vow, cultivated bodhicitta, so maintain that as much as possible. Then after that, so joyfully making effort in hearing, contemplating, and meditating. So first, these are very important. Hearing means study all different minor sutras, teachings, texts written by great masters like Nagarjuna, Asangas, like Shantideva's Bodhicharya Avatara. Study them and then contemplate, meditate on this, investigate what it means. Have you understood? Once you understood, meditating, then bringing mind, loving kindness, compassion, bodhicitta in our heart. What is loving kindness? Metta. What does it mean? Desire to have real peace and happiness to others. Meditate on that. Even those individuals who hate you, still, I wish them have all that should have peace and happiness. And I wish they're free from all the suffering. Meditate, train our mind. And then I wish them, everybody, including those, attain complete enlightenment. So this is such an important point, meditating, see, performing the service for and honoring all the teachers, helping and nursing sick people, giving property, giving properly and proclaiming good qualities of the teachers, rejoicing in others' merit and patience, having patience when others look down on you, dedicating virtues towards the enlightenment, and saying aspiration prayers, making offerings to the triple gem, and making effort for, for the virtuous teachings, sustaining introspection. Sustaining introspection means really investigate thoroughly. Then what it makes sense. How should I practice? How should I avoid all these other negative things? Recollecting the Bodhisattva's training, protecting the Bodhisattva's training with vigilance, awareness, mindfulness, protecting all the sense doors. Sense doors means you see many different things. So sometimes you see things you are so attached to. Sometimes you see things you hate. So to protect from these mind, hatred, and attachment. See, and moderately eating food. So don't eat too much. Eat how much you need. If you are eating too much, then you are become very heavy. There's sometimes you see in the news, you show people are so heavy, or obesity, they eat too much. Making effort and meditation practice without sleeping. Without sleeping means without not sleeping at all. It's not saying don't sleep at all, but you sleep what you needed. Other than you don't sleep too much, too early in the evening or too late, early in the evening or too late in the morning. Means just midnight you sleep. Don't go to bed too early, then don't sleep too late in the morning. Attending spiritual masters, teachers, and authentically holy people. See, holy people means those who are practicing Dharma accordingly. There are some individuals really humble, sincere, and then rich with all the knowledge, wisdom, and ready to help others. So respect to those individuals. Holy people, investigating your own mistake is the best, When I make mistake, if somebody points on me, I don't like it. So, but if I catch up myself, I'm making this mistake, I should not do this, really good, So we should look to our own mistake. Everybody will praise you. If you're not so good, say, oh, you're wonderful, don't worry about it. So you are so excellent person, And then if we are, we are just, hooked by this praise and then involved there, and then it will make a mess, more suffering. Instead, just catch up my own mistake. Then you just say, I made this mistake. I need to purify on mistake and purify them. In this way, practicing these good qualities, protecting your vows, your mind, and increasing them, qualities are increased, developed, and called the moral. So these are called moral ethics of accumulating virtues. So yeah, Gampopa, very skillfully, not just making something from his own mind, but bring quotation from Asangas, and put here what are those, what means accumulating good qualities of the moral ethics. Now the third one, see, moral ethics of benefiting sentient beings. Briefly, there are 11 topics to know. What are they? The Bodhisattva's Bhumi says, supporting meaningful activities, meaning supporting meaningful projects, the project that helps other people, the noble one, not harming. Dispelling the suffering of those sentient beings who are suffering, showing the methods to those who do not know them. So this is the also you see generosity, the practice of generosity, showing the dharma, giving dharma teachings. Those who are lacking the wisdom, how to do things, showing right path or right method, recollecting others' kindness, and then repaying it. If somebody's done something good for you, you don't forget it. You just refresh, say dedication prayers. They may attain enlightenment. I'm so grateful. Just bring these good things in your heart. Repaying it, protecting others from fears, and dispelling the mourning of those who are suffering. These are also giving fearlessness, giving necessaries to those who do not have them. This is the giving wealth, making provision to bring disciples into the Dharma community. This also giving wealth, giving Dharma teachings, and acting according to those people's level of the understanding, creating joy and reporting the perfect qualities. So means qualities the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, the quality of the great teachers. Dharma study is the best thing you can do. Qualities. Properly correcting someone who is doing wrong. If someone is doing wrong thing, don't just jump on, but skillfully just show and show so their work is mistake, and then show the compassion, wisdom to those. Refraining from creating fear with the miracle power means if you have miracle power, you can show, say, this is not the right thing to do. If you don't have miracle power, just develop bodhicitta, say dedication prayers, or say this person may free from this kind of confusion. And causing others to be inspired by the teachings, you see. You show the wisdom of the teaching. It's not just a religion, but how it makes a person better. So furthermore, in order to create confidence and faith in others and to prevent oneself from backsliding, you should avoid the impure action of the three doors. Three doors means body, speech, mind, and sustain the three pure qualities of body, speech, mind. So these are quotation from the Shantideva's text. First, he says, impure action of the body, avoiding untamed action, physically untamed action, such as unnecessary running, jumping, and so forth, like being so wild. You should maintain pure action smoothly and gently, see, with a smiling face, engaging in the conduct of the Bodhisattva, Bodhisattva Avataram, says, now, while there is freedom to act, I should always present a smiling face and cease to frown and look angry. I should be a friend and counsel of the world, you see. We human beings have a freedom to smile. So you smile, you know. If you smile, people feel very relaxed. They are not afraid. If you show your angry face, frowning face, people are afraid, you know. They will afraid what she or he will do, you know. They'll run away, you know, see. But if you show smiling face, they are feeling so peaceful. Say, hello, how are you, you know. So these things, very simple, cost nothing, you know, but it makes the world much better. Nowadays, especially, you know, a lot of people are afraid each other, you know. Somebody will shoot you gun, you know, like that. But if you smile, people relax, you know. Oh, looks like this person will do nothing, will not harm, you know. And when beholding others, when beholding someone with my eyes, thinking I shall fully awaken through depending upon these beings, I should look at him or her with an open heart and love. You see, when you look at the individual, anybody, oh, because of those individuals, I get opportunity to practice loving kindness, compassion, bodhicitta. Depending on this practice, love, compassion, bodhicitta, I purify my negative mind. That will cause me to attain Buddhahood. So because of them, I get this kind of opportunity. And when sitting, see, I should not sit with my legs outstretched, nor rub my hands together. And when eating, I should not fill my mouth. Means totally filled my mouth. Even you cannot move your mouth. And eat noisily or with my mouth wide open. Your mouth is wide open, you know, so people think this is ugly, you know. It doesn't look good, you know. So see, the manners, you see. So Buddha's teaching, you see, how to behave physically, not to hurt others, you see. And when moving, I should desist from inconsiderately and noisily, moving round chairs and so forth, as well as from violently opening doors. I should always delight in humility. So when you open the door, don't open door with kind of so strongly. Or when you close the door, don't smash the door, you know. Just, you know, very gently open the door, gently close the door. Also, windows. Don't throw chair here, there with noisily. Just gently, you see. This is called physical behavior. This is not just only Mayana, all in Theravada also very important. And sleeping, just as the Buddha lay down to pass away, so should I lie in the desired direction, facing the north, the head facing north, and then sleep on the right. See? This has very important message, you see. Look at, where's our heart? Our heart is at the center of the body or on the left? So on the left, more on the left. So if you sleep on the right, the heart moves very freely. This heart has no stress. If you sleep on the left, then heart is pressed. See, when the heart is pressed, on your left, heart cannot move freely, then you feel in the daytime, so without any reason, you feel angry. Without reason, you're upset because your heart was pressed. If you sleep on the right, the heart is moving 24 hours freely, and you feel more relaxed. So scientifically, see, health, physical health, mental health, see. Impure action of speech, avoid idle talk and harsh words. The faults of the idle talk are mentioned in the Cloud of Noble Jewels Sutra. The childish one declines from the precious Dharma. His mind becomes arrogant and harsh. He grows far from karma abiding and special insight. These are the faults of idle talk. He never has devotion for the teacher and always enjoy false and malicious speech. He remains without essence, and his discernment deteriorates. These are the faults of idle talk. According to the Moonlight Sutra, the faults of the harsh words are whatever one sees to be another's mistake, do not declare it as a mistake. You will receive the result of whatever action you take. The instruction on the non-production of all the phenomena sutra says, one who talks about the downfall of a bodhisattva would be far from reaching enlightenment. By talking about others' mistake through jealousy, one would be far from enlightenment, and so forth. If you kindly show others, maybe this is not so good for you, you should correct. That's wonderful. But if you talk out of jealous, out just to look down others, then it's not good. Therefore, one should avoid idle talk and harsh words. The way to use pure speech, engaging in the contact of bodhisattvas, it is said, when talking, I should speak from my heart and on what is relevant. See, we talk what's relevant, making the meaning clear. What you're talking about, make the meaning very clear, and speech pleasing. I should not speak out of desire or hatred. Desire means out of attachment or hatred, but in gentle tones and in moderate. You talk just moderate, moderation. impure action of the mind, avoid craving gain and honor and attachment to sleep, sloth, and so forth. The faults of craving gain and honor are mentioned in the sutra requested with the extreme sincerity. Maitreya Bodhisattva should investigate and understand that attachment to gain and honor will produce desire, attachment. One should understand that the gain and honor will produce hatred. Should understand that the gain and honor will produce ignorance, develop ego. Should understand that all the Buddhas disapprove of gain and honor. Should understand that gain and honor will destroy the root of virtues. Should understand that gain and honor are like a deceitful harlot and so forth. So what it's saying is, if somebody praise you, if somebody make offerings to you, there's nothing wrong with that. But if I such gain, if I such honor, if I expecting somebody will honor me, and I praise myself, as earlier mentioned. So these are the wrong thing, because Bodhisattvas is to serve sentient beings, to honor other sentient beings, not to gain the honor for oneself. Bodhisattvas to practicing Dharma to attain Buddhahood for the benefit of sentient beings, but not misuse sentient beings. See, even if you gain wealth, see, you will not be satisfied. Even you gain a lot of wealth, still you will not satisfy. Meeting of father and son sutra says, for example, you will not be satisfied by drinking water that dream about. Means in the dream, you are thirsty and you drink water in the dream. No matter how much you drink, you never satisfy. You never feel enough because it's dream. So likewise, it said, likewise, all the objects of sensual desire will not give you satisfaction, even if you enjoy them. So let's just say, you go to the theater and look enjoy all this your sight. You enjoy all the singing, dancing, all this. More you enjoy, more desire will come. There's no satisfaction. Satisfaction means, yes, now enough. I don't need. I got one thing, now there's enough. Will not say that. You want to do more and more and more, like using drug. With that understanding, you should reduce attachment and be content. So the antidote or the remedy for this, first you reduce the attachment, and then content. So I'm so happy what I have, all things that I got. Just rejoice. Feel so happy about it. The false of attachment to sleep, it is said, attachment to sleep and sloth will cause one's intelligence to decline. The people who tended to sleep for a long time, whole night, whole morning. You see, still you want to sleep. These days may be a little different, you know. People have difficult to get sleep now. This is in the old time when there's no technologies, you know. When there's no technology, life is very simple and life is very kind of what you call poor, not that rich, but life is simple, but tended to get a lot of sleep because there's no excitement, you know, there's no disturbance. But nowadays there's so many internets, news, and that disturbs your mind, and people are getting a little difficult to get good sleep, enough sleep, you know. So this you have to understand, you know, some difference. But here anyway, this is written in the 8th century. You know, Buddha taught in the over 2050, 60 years ago. Attachment to sleep and sloth will cause one's intelligence to decline. It will also cause for the discriminating mind to decrease. It will always cause one to be far from premortal wisdom. Nowadays, people are facing, you know, difficult to get good sleep. Sometimes we use sleeping pills. So those who are using sleeping pills quite often, then it brings, I think, dementia. Because when you get forced to sleep, your clarity of the mind is obscured and you get sleep. Even though you get sleep, you wake up the mind not so clear. And then start, you know, dementia, forget more easily. I met just quite few people like that. So they feel dementia. But they didn't know it was from the sleeping pill. But I just, you know, thought about that. You know. Of course, when we get older, we also forget very easily, like in the suffering of the aging mentioned, you know. And then one who is attached to sleep or sloth becomes lethargic, lazy, and without discernment. He can be overcome by the obstacles of non-human beings. And when in the forest, he can be harmed and so forth. This is the more time. Therefore, these should be avoided. In pure action of the mind, one maintains confidence and so forth. They explained chapter 2. Please look at the chapter 2. Now here we have the increase. Moral ethics will increase through primordial wisdom that explained yesterday, and discriminating awareness and dedication, as explained before in chapter 12, the practice of generosity. Perfection, the perfection of moral ethics is supported by pervading emptiness and compassion is true. Emptiness, you see, there are four, you know, emptiness, the body, mind, wealth, and enlightenment. That will gives us opportunity to free from samsara. And compassion will help us not to fall partial nirvana, but to complete enlightenment. So that perfects our practice. So moral ethics, when you practice, when you keep this all morality, moral ethics, the vows of the bodhisattvas, always meditate in the meditation of the emptiness. Yeah, it's like moon's reflection. The moon's reflection on the lake is there. You see, but there's no substantial. There's no substance. All are just like a rainbow. Meditate. Your whole being, your body, mind, speech, all like in the rainbow, all like an echo. So this will help us to release from ignorance. There's no such as self-existence, substantial, all just reflection, the body, speech, mind. The result, number 7, one should understand the result of moral ethics in ultimate and conventional state. In the ultimate state, one achieves the unsurpassable enlightenment. The Bodhisattvas Bhumi says, by fully perfecting the paramita, perfection of a Bodhisattva's moral ethics, with all this described, including the increase and perfection, and that through these practices, moral ethics, one will achieve unsurpassable, perfect, complete enlightenment. In the conditioned state, even if one does not so desire, one will achieve the perfection, happiness of samsara. The Bodhisattva basket says, Shariputra, there is no perfect, glorious enjoyment of the God in human realms that a Bodhisattva with pure moral ethics will not enjoy. Even one doesn't have the attachment, wish for the reward of the practice of the Bodhisattva's vow. Now, one individual practices that to achieve complete enlightenment, Buddhahood, for the benefit of all sentient beings. But at the same time, while you are on the way to Buddhahood, you will enjoy all the good things in the samsara. A Bodhisattva will continue follow the path by not being overpowered by the joy and happiness of samsara. The Narayana Requester Sutra says, a Bodhisattva who possesses such moral ethics will not fall from the universal monarchy because he has introspection and desire for enlightenment. He will not decline from Indra state because he has great introspection and desire to achieve enlightenment and so forth. You see, the Bodhisattvas who has the Bodhisattva's vow, even in the samsara, there's such a great condition in the life. All the good things there will not attach to this. Because always maintain the mind to attain Buddhahood, to benefit all sentient beings. Even Bodhisattvas achieve the universal monarch, the king, ruler of the whole world. So will not attach to this power, authority. It only used to help sentient beings and then to attain complete enlightenment. A bodhisattva who possesses this kind of moral ethics will be praised and honored by human and non-human beings. The same sutra says, the gods will always prostrate to a bodhisattva who abide in the collection of moral ethics, and he or she will always be praised by all the nagas. He or she will always be praised by the yakshas, by the gandharvas, will always make offering. He will always be sought after by Brahmins, kings, merchants, and householders. The Buddhas always think about him, and he is always esteemed by the whole world, including gods and so forth. So most important thing is the bodhisattvas who practice this now vow, bodhisattvas vow. As I mentioned, bodhisattvas vows means avoiding all the non-virtues and bringing about all the good qualities and enriching the life, and well, keeping the vow purely. So all the Buddhas will be pleased. And that becomes the source of peace and happiness in the world. See? That's the main point of the here practice as a result. Well, on the way to Buddhahood, it's become the source of peace and happiness. So this was called Bodhisattva's vow. The moral ethics was called the moral ethics, morality. So you see, so this is also practice of giving. So they're all interconnected, you see. The generosity, moral ethics, and next will come the patience. It's all interconnected each other. To basically, it's training of the mind, as mentioned, It's the training of the mind. We train our mind as much as possible in our daily life. And our Buddha nature is a mission, is an unfabricated effulgence, unconfined mind which is a freedom from all the delusions. But right now, as well as in the samsara, our mind is trapped. That unconfined mind is trapped in the confusion and is confined in the delusion. And then we feel not much space there. So through these practices helps us to dispel this all confusion. And really brings the great joy, happiness, because the Buddha nature itself is the undefiled peace, undefiled happiness. So these trainings are helping us how to break through that way we are trapped in the confusion. So these are the real Dharma practice, you see. Sometimes you find if you chant this mantra 100 times, you will get this benefit, Then you have a high expectation. Oh, I chant 100,000, so maybe I get some benefit from there. Chanting. After 100,000 recitation, Nothing happens. It is what happened. Is it true, or they are telling a lie? What, There's some happens. Some great practitioners, yes, they get benefit. But like me, very difficult, So when I read these things, definite, you see, that's the Buddha's wisdom. See, that's the teachings. We talk to all the sentient beings. Buddha shared this wisdom to others. And here Gampopa brought very concise, very concise and in few sentences and just very profound and contain such vast meaning. So we just meditate on this practice. It's just reminding, we do this joyfully, happily, you see, feeling of gratitude. I'm so grateful, So we are, this is one important thing, since I have a few minutes, Our body is aging, getting older every day, every month, every year, you see. And then we get sick physically. And finally we die. The mind, Buddha nature, never age, never get sick, never die. So you see body, then you see mind. The mind has two sides, you see, the confusion side and enlightened side. As I mentioned, the two sides of the hand, two sides of hand, the samsara, nirvana. Even in the samsara, you see, these mental afflictions, confusions, through the practice of the Dharma, we can purify them. But if you don't practice Dharma, these mental afflictions, they never age, you see. They never get sick, you see. But through the wisdom practice, we can see their non-existence. Through this special insight, you can see the non-existence of the mental afflictions. Then through that special insight, you see your complete, perfect, pure mind, all pervading emptiness, that always there. Always there. That's what's called, it's permanent, not permanent of something, some substance, but permanent nature. The innate is called innate nature itself. So through Dharma practice, we are making effort to see that and sustain with that. Then if we could sustain that reality nature, that's called enlightenment, Buddhahood. That's called we achieved in Dharmakaya. That's why we need to study, practice Dharma. No matter it takes time. We have to make effort joyfully because it's there. In our dualistic mind, I should say it's there, It's not there, there's nothing to see it, but it's there, we can achieve it, you see. Make sense? So look at this, So we have to have a skill how to explain these things and then follow the path step by step. Thank you, everybody. Is there anybody who has any questions?
Kenshin,
Yes.
I had a question from yesterday on generosity.
Yes.
If I understood correctly, when we were talking about giving fearlessness, I understand that was protection and shelter. And my question was, I thought I heard you say that it was also giving comfort to the dying or helping the dying. And if I heard correctly, could you say more about that?
Dying?
Yes. Is giving fearlessness
Yes.
also giving comfort or helping the dying?
Oh, yeah. No, it's, especially if those are Dharma practitioners, then you say, there's nothing to fear about it, and just say, yes, I know, and you have this kind of fear, but in reality, just you see, look at the Buddha's nature within you, and then it's like you're going to sleep, it's just changing the body. You just take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. There's nothing to fear about it. So giving those comfort, if you could give these comfort, it's giving fearlessness. Because we ordinarily, when people die, there's a lot of fear, confusion. We don't know what's happening, and that's what is happening. I have a lot of fear. What should I do? So if you give these, like reflect on bodhicitta, if there are individuals who practice the bodhicitta, so reflect bodhicitta, keep bodhicitta in your heart, So just meditate Buddha in your heart. Buddha as not something substance, but Buddha's of the wisdom, And then say there's nothing to fear about it. So that's also giving fearlessness.
Thank you. And thank you for this extraordinary teaching.
Yes. So that's the wisdom of the Buddha, So we're so grateful. It takes time really to understand. Our confusion is very stubborn, many layers. But if you make effort, attempt all the time, then someday you get it. So say, now it makes sense.
Kenshin.
Yes.
I have a question about now when we die, we have a choice, an option to donate our organs.
Yes.
To people who need those organs, like eyes and all of that.
Yes.
And so my question is, do you have any advice around that? Because you also fear that, it's good not to disturb the body maybe right away.
Yeah.
When you die. So it's kind of a dilemma, a little bit of, not being a very high practitioner, weighing, being a benefit to maybe a lot of, good number of beings versus not disturbing, in case your mind at that moment, at that time.
I usually say this, you see. First of all, it's individual's choice. Like, as you ask, you determine, I give my organ. I decided. At the end of my life, I die anyway. So if I can give, my organ, that would be really useful of this my body. And you fully decided, and you meditate on that, and there's no any second thought. And I think that's a good thing, because you expected whatever it happens. You decided, and you know it, and then so there are some bodhisattvas, even they're alive, they give organs, So now I'm dying. When I'm dead, then my body is dead. So if any of the organ is useful, I give. So I'm so grateful. I'm so happy that I could do this. So I think it's a very good thing. But then those who are not prepared for, have not decided for, and then if somebody disturbs the body and that disturbs the mind, then that maybe brings some negative effect.
Okay. Thank you, Kenshin. Thank you.
Yes. Okay, thank you, everybody. Now, first, please take a deep breath. Inhale fully. And exhale all our tension. Now, please inhale today's all these wisdom teachings before we forget and pervade our mind into that. So especially if you find some useful, helpful, just store in your mindfulness. So I will practice this. I will be helpful to all others and enhance your bodhicitta. So these are the, as you see, these are the real practice to perfect our bodhicitta. Make our bodhicitta more useful, workable, to purify first our mind. And then once you purify our mind, then we can help others in the world. And then see how Dharma is so precious. So Dharma need to stay in the world for the benefit of all others. So once more, please inhale fully all the bodhicittas of the Buddha. And enrich our bodhicitta in our heart. Now with this mind, please say some dedication prayers. Anila.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Let's begin with the brief long life prayer for Rinpoche. You who are richly endowed with the glorious wealth of Dharma knowledge, who through reflecting, meditating, have actualized self-aware absolute reality and shine with 100,000 light rays of ethical discipline of the Buddha Dharma. May you, Kenshin Ratnazawa, live long. Dorje Chang, Tilopa, Naropa, Marpa, Milarepa, Dharma Lord Gampopa, Phagmudrupa, and Lord Rekunpa. Please bestow upon us the most auspicious blessings of the Kagyu Lamas. By this virtue, may I achieve omniscience by defeating all enemies' confusion. May all who travel the waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death cross the ocean of samsara. Bodhicitta, the excellent and precious mind, where it's unborn, may it arise, where it is born, may it not decline, ever increase higher and higher. I pray that the Lama may have good health. I pray that the Lama may have long life. I pray that your Dharma activities spread far and wide. I pray that I may not be separated from you. As Manjushri, the warrior, realized ultimate state, and as did Samantabhadra, I will follow in their path and fully dedicate all the merit for all sentient beings. By the blessing of the Buddhas who attained the three kayas, by the blessing of the truth of unchanging Dharma as such, and by the blessing of the indivisible Sangha order, may the merit I share bear fruit. By the virtues collected in the three times by myself and all beings in samsara and nirvana, and that by the innate root of virtue, may I in all sentient beings quickly attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, precious Buddhahood. May the teachings of the great Drikungpa Ratnashiri, omniscient Lord of the Dharma, master of interdependence, continue through study, practice, contemplation, and meditation until the end of samsara. Thank you so much, Rinpoche. It was a blessing today, as it is always.
Thank you. Always, yes, always.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ken.
Thank you, Rinpoche.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Kanchana.
Have a very good week.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rinpoche.
Muchas gracias.
Just gracias.
Gracias. Gracias, Rinpoche.
Yeah,
Gracias,
gracias.
Rinpoche.
Yes. Muchas gracias. Thank you.
Thank you, Kenshin.
Yes, thank you.
Muchas gracias, Chenchela.
Yes.
Muchas gracias.
Muchas
Thank you,
gracias.
Rinpoche.
Yes, Shalia, yes.
Gracias. Bye bye.
Yes,
Bye
Steve. All the
Gracias,
Steve.
Fabián.
Yes.
Bye-bye.